Hi guys, this is Namcraft. What's going on? Welcome to this is Starcraft English commentary. This is going to be ASL S19, day 1 prelims. This is Group 1 finals played between Pianist and Bisu. This very surprising result so far. We had Pianist getting a game off of Bisu, but yeah, Bisu won one game right back. And this final is going to be played. Excuse me, on the map Deja Vu. Bisu's having a slight difficulty today, but you know, I mean, he's Bisu. He will get out of this group alive for sure. And if he doesn't, he will have a chance to play tomorrow as well. So as you can see, Bisu is going to be located at the top right on the screen, 1 o'clock position in the yellow color, and Pianist, aka Strong Toss, is going to be located at the top left in the gray color. PvP, this Deja Vu map is what you're seeing on screen right now, and you know, very standard map. If you're not a lot of things to watch out for. For all of you Bisu's fans, here is a picture of him, very handsome. Of course, he's no longer that handsome anymore, so keep that in mind when you are fanning him. Back to this game, what can I say? I think PvP, for all intents and purposes, is kind of dull these days. I mean, it used to be a little bit more interesting back in the Gosu's day, but nowadays it's you know, we see all of the same crap, right? It's all about you know, sealing off your wall, your ramp after the probe is gone, and going for triple gateway, or going for Dark Templar rush, or going for Robo and Obstrus, or going for Robo and Reaver. So sometimes of a quick expansion. So I think the number of variables out there is not very much. But anyway, look at this, guys. It looks like Bisu, the player at the top right in the yellow color, is going to be scouting in the wrong direction. He's going to go right to the middle of the map because he's expecting a second cheese. He doesn't find it, and he immediately will move towards the top left. He's just being very sure here. But by doing so, he is going to invite his enemy into making a mana pylon. And of course, that pylon will take a while to destroy. And the question is, does Bisu go for a Zealot first? His enemy is going for Zealot first, but also taking gas. As you can see, Bisu is not putting all of the probe on gas. He's facing this battle first, so he's got to take care of that. And I think this is a lesson for all of us to learn as Protoss player. When you are facing up against another Protoss player who's going very standard in terms of building I see what a battery. Of course, the battery costs the same thing as a pylon, so it makes sense to build it there, and it blocks a lot more. The surface area is a lot more than a pylon, so it really you know, messed things up. So that was beautifully done by Strong Toss, aka Pianist, but that pylon will fall. The Zealot, though, from Pianist is very far away, so I don't believe he will be able to get there on time and make use of the battery at all. These probes are glitching up like crazy, though. Very nice recharge in the last minute and try to, you know, just bug out the Zealot. And indeed, that battery would have died. It does die, so it doesn't serve any purpose at all. But we will have the second Zealot, and that's going to be slightly annoying for Bisu to deal with. But he needs to take the first shot correctly. But behind this, his enemy is going to be taking up, so Pianist will have faster Dragoons, I believe. Yeah, no, looks like this Dragoon from Bisu is coming out just right, so that's fine. But if you remember, Bisu was not mining his gas correctly, so his gas count is a little bit lower than his enemy. And look at this, guys. Looks like we don't have the first Dragoon yet out from Pianist. The Zealot's gonna get trapped, so Bisu's doing okay. And that Zealot will die, so that's gonna be interesting. As you can see, Pianist is delaying his Dragoon range upgrade for a faster Dragoon. And of course, that is very much standard as well. Now he's not to do an upgrade, or maybe he didn't put that much mineral. He didn't put that many probes on gas at the beginning, so maybe that's what it is. He was facing, I mean, he's also facing a mineral shortage, right? He put down 2 pylons and a battery. That costs a lot of money, so he needed all of those probes to mine minerals. So I think his gas might have been delayed as well. And this is explaining we have a Dark Templar rush coming for Bisu, but there's going to be a slight Dragoon trade here. These Dragoons are attacking at each other at the exactly right timing, perfect timing for both these players. But the second Dragoon coming out from Bisu is going to force this Dragoon back. Need to have other Dragoon to support now. He will indeed have 3, and Bisu will not risk it to get on high ground. He's 1 Zealot up. He's going to be going for Templar guy. He's up in terms of forces, so he doesn't have to face up against you know, triple gate attack, because he's got a Zealot at least to hold. But he's going to be worrying about something. This Dark Templar build is going to negate everything here, because he knows his enemy is not yet expanding quickly. He knows that his enemy doesn't go for, well, I guess he doesn't know if he's going to go for Robo Reavers or not, so that's a good question here. But he's going to try to hold. He needs to hold it. He cannot reveal to his enemy that he doesn't have an expansion, but looks like at the last minute he is gonna back down, and we have a very late Robo, so might as well say that this game is possibly GG, because the Templar Archive is done now. The Dark Templar comes up, what is it, 15 seconds, something, right? And getting to the enemy's base is around 10 to 15 seconds. It's got a robo. It's about 40%, and he needs to be in an observatory. You need to get the ops out. It's possibly going to be the right timing, or I guess Pianist will not die. He might suffer irrecuperable damages, but he will possibly not die here because robotics is about 8% done now. The Nexus comes up, so Bisu is going to be feeling very well, but these 5 Dragoons will be able to at least detect the Dark Templar as it moves out. Bisu goes in for a scout. He knows exactly what his enemy is doing. So now I think that Pianist got a nice, and he needs to snipe the Nexus now. Go for the Nexus. Why is he not sniping the Nexus? That's the question. He needs to focus attention on the Nexus. He's going to try to snipe it, and then Dark Templar is coming out, and that Nexus will fall. So at least he is doing not so bad in terms of that. Is he going to try to ward himself up with some pylon or what? Because the Dark Templar is almost here. He needs to at least block the ramp with something. He's not returning to block it, and yeah, if that robo falls before the observer gets out, that's going to be disastrous. The Dark Templar is almost here. I don't think the robo will fall, but it might fall. Okay, looks like I need to do a block right now. What is it? He's not blocking. I says, you know what? I invite you to take my robo, and instead I will do something else. This Dark Templar is going to get right into it. And what is he doing? Does he not know about this or what? He doesn't know there's a Dark Templar there. He's busy attacking things in the front. He needed to know that there was a Dark Templar building here. What can this possibly be? I mean, there's no other things that could be possible at this stage except for Dark Templars. I mean, why would the enemy go for a Nexus and not have any means of defending it? It can only be the Dark Templar. But anyways, now this unit is going to destroy a lot of stuff here. Bisu is going to try to snipe the Nexus. If you can snipe the Nexus correctly, it would be great here, but looks like the Nexus will possibly not fall. Yeah, at least Bisu's ahead in a lot of supply, but Dark Templar falls now. The Nexus lives, right? The Nexus is alive, so at least Bisu will have slightly less mineral counter and compared to this enemy. But now the question is, what about the next move, right? Do we have counter Dark Templar? Okay, Bisu's delayed his Dragoon range by a lot. This is why he's not able to defend that Nexus correctly. But now things are going to get very interesting because we will have Reavers, and if Bisu can survive, then that's going to be beneficial to him because he will have High Templars, and you always want to have High Templars against another Protoss player. If you can survive until your High Templars become operational, then we just scale better, much better. Anyways, this Dark Templar is going to get chased around. At least it takes some hits here, but it would not die. It would have go into hiding somewhere else. 2 kills only on that Dark Templar. Very much equals what is it? Supply-ish or army composition between these two players. Bisu's Nexus is actually not that far behind either, so he will have about the same timing of probe transfer. He's got about 13 to 15 more probes. He's got better tech. The only thing that he doesn't have is observation. Doesn't have ops. Anyways, these Dragoons for Bisu's gonna try to do some damages. If the Reaver will come down south, he's not even sniping that pylon. He says, you know what, take that pylon, I will destroy it later with a single shot. So that's what he's banking on. Anyways, Bisu's being very careful because he knows his enemy might be going for Reavers. So Dark Templar is just gonna try to go for a cannon in the front. He might put a cannon in the back as well, just to be completely sure. As you can see, Pianist is going for very much late Templar Archive. He's gonna be going for City of Doom first, and he's gonna be going for Templar Archive. So does Bisu just completely skip Robo or what? He's not building Robo. He's just building stuff out of his gateways and just praying to God that his enemy doesn't go for Dark Templar drop. Anyways, now Bisu comes in with some forces. He's got a lot more supply, and that Reaver is finally here with an officer to see. So perfect positioning here for Pianist. Of course, he's a lot behind his supply, so that's the only question. His army is much worse. Bisu needs to transition into High Templars now, and the observer sees that enemy's got nothing. There's no Robo. So is that a Robo? Is that a cannon? Okay, that's gonna be a Robo. So he's thinking, look at this guys, Bisu's reasoning, okay, you're going to be going for double Shadow and double Reavers. That's exactly what you're going to be going for. So I'm going to just try to defend with a lot of cannons. He finally go for Robo on the expansion, but his enemy is going to be going for the Dodge. Now the Robo will not fall because it's being protected by some cannons. So the game will transition very nicely into a late game. And the question is, what about this Shadow and Reaver? What kind of damage can they do? It can do a lot of damages, and that might be the game back in even footing here for between these two players. But for the time being, Bisu says, I know I'm ahead, so I'm just going to try to stay at home here with some dragoons and some cannons inside my base. Just make sure that I don't die to those drops. But this is gonna be a Reaver and Dark Templar drop. This is an insane combination here. I guess he will be able to. He's gonna have to try to snipe the cannon at some point because the Reaver alone would not do any damages. And of course, there's so many dragoons from his enemy, so that's gonna be a question. And the roll is almost completely. Yeah, as you can see, his enemy is banking on the fact that he's going to be able to snipe the cannon. Okay, that probe sees the situation. Dragoon's in position. Can he turn around at the right time? He does turn around, and he's going to try to snipe the probe, man. At least snipe the probe. The probe is right there. Snipe it. Oh my god, he's going to get cornered here because these dragoons are returning for Bisu as well. So that's going to be the problem here. Yeah, come on, you had all the time to at least get a probe killed. He even sends a Dark Templar out instead of a Reaver. Now this Reaver is gonna be faced. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What insanity is this? I mean, this is noob mistake. The game is GG now. I might as well type GG because what? His supply is behind by about 20 now. This Dark Templar is checking for cannon, and there's a cannon, so he's gonna turn around and I mean he needs to rush to High Templars now. He's gonna be okay. He's making only his dragoons. What about High Templars? He's not researching storms, so it's gonna be miles and leagues behind when Bisu comes out with his observers, and he will have 2 High Templars each with 2 storms. He will just come in and finish the game. That's it. He doesn't have to do anything else. Dragoons has to move out, and observers actually also behind, so that just have to run back now. Just finish up the game in style, Bisu. You're completely fine. You're completely winning. Just go there, send your 2 High Templars, do like 4 storms. You break the freaking defense line with dragoons, his enemy's dragoons, and just come in and finish up those weakened dragoons. That's gonna be my advice for Bisu here. He comes out here, he will snipe yet another Dark Templar. Dark Templar is gonna run around. 4 High Templars. 2 of them has 2 storms, and the other 2 has one storm each. So that's a total of 6 storms, and that is just enough to wreck anything. Does he even have Zelle with lag? He might have Zelle with lag as well. It's gonna be a crazy battle. Can that Dark Templar snipe the trailing High Templar from the back? That's the question. This High Templar is gonna be. The Dark Templar is not in the right position to snipe it, and Archon's gonna have to support as well. Bisu's had about 20 supply. This is gonna be the final battle of the game. Because Bisu can win right now, the game is instantly over. Looks like what is his face? Pianist is staying back with some of the forces and moving around with the other forces as well. There's gonna be okay. This Dutchman is gonna try to snipe the Archon. This is not a bad idea. The Archon is one of the strongest unit in the game, and the fact that Pianist has kept both of his Dutch players alive after about 5 to 7 minutes of them, becoming operational is amazing. He will lose maybe possibly one of his Dark Templar. He needs to move towards the left side, not the right side, man. He is gonna be losing his Dark Templar. Not yet. Both the Dark Templars are still alive, and Bisu's gonna give up on that chase. He's gonna come in with a double High Templar. He will cast 4 storms now. He's gonna be very careful. That Archon is buying some time here, and at least there are 2 Reavers. But the battle is a little bit intense. I would say that Bisu maybe he could just expand. I mean, just forget about attack. He's got Zelle with lag now, and he's got 6 High Templars. They're all protected, but his enemy's got also some stuff. And what is that shadow? That shadow, does it have dart? Oh my god, he's gonna try to snipe the High Templar. He's gonna try to get the High Templar. He gets 1. This is genius. Pianist is not a noob. He gets yet. Okay, he's gonna storm himself to death. He's losing 2 High Templars. It's not a good idea. And this Dark Templar behind in the back. He was sniping maybe a probe in the corner, possibly. Now the observer will arrive, and so there is gonna be a chance for the Dark Templar to finally die. That Templar has paid a lot of dividends throughout its entire lifeline here. But anyways, now Bisu's gonna get ready to expand, and there's gonna be a drop of some sort from both these players. Bisu's ahead by about 35 supply. He's got Zelle with leg. I'm not sure about the upgrades. Upgrades. Bisu's got +1 weapons. His enemy is possibly gonna have something, but this game is dragging way longer than it should here. Of course, Bisu's being very careful. As you can see, Pianist doesn't have any upgrades at all. So Bisu's gonna have the army advantage, but he might just expand just to be safe here. He's gonna expand and try to play that out a little bit because he says, you know what, I'm ahead. I know I'm mechanically better. Well, I guess my APM is also slightly better. I mean, Bisu's APM is a lot higher than that. But anyways, this shadow comes in with a storm drop though, and looks like Bisu is gonna be able to get at least a couple of probes. He's get the Zealot out. He's gonna storm. The expansion. There's nothing at the expansion. If the probes drop right now, they would die. There's so many probes will be falling. This is gonna be the insane. What is it? Goes to Pip's play, man. What is he doing? Bisu's waiting for the energy or what? He dropped the wrong item, but now he's got the full energy. That was a great great storm. He will come back, he will drop in a mineral line, and we hit those two Zelle together with the proxy and very slow reaction from the enemy. That was so much damage. Bisu almost maxing out now, 191, and his enemy is pushing forward. It's going to be the final battle. Bisu will cast 2 storm. He's waiting for the energy. That item is going to only 73, 74, 75. He casts a storm, and the angle is a bit narrow. And look at this guy's Pianist is pushing way too hard. He's losing a lot of shield, but he's able to hold fast on. I need to pick up the Reavers, and there might be a storm, and that storm is hitting the shuttle, which is nice, but Bisu is not able to hit the Reavers inside it. So at least for some time, this player Pianist is holding on, but Bisu's got 3 bases where Pianist has only got 2. I mean, the pressure is immense from Bisu. Bisu is a lot better mechanically, but it's got to seal the deal now. 200 supply from Bisu maxing out now. The big battle is going to happen, so Bisu's just going to put up some cannons. As you know what, in case I mess up the battle, I will come out with superior economy. That's his goal. He is, morphing some Archon, just, trading a little bit here. He want to make sure he doesn't lose his, oh my god, the Shadow picks up the Reaver. And that Shadow is still alive, but the Shadow is once again still alive. Those Reavers are terribly positioned, but now look at the forces from Pianist just melting in the face of Bisu storms. Of course, Bisu is the revolutionist. He's a better player mechanically. He is in the top 10 if he plays. He doesn't play right now anyways, but he destroyed everything, and he's got leftovers. He's got a lot of leftovers. The enemy has got no leftovers. He's gonna have to go outside tomorrow and eat some food from another restaurant, or get it from a trash can, whatever. There's gonna be a second Shadow. I'm not so sure what's inside the Shadow. This is Bisu Shadows or what? He's gotta be having a high tempo. He's gonna be not right. Oh, look at this, guys. Bisu just completely cherry on top of the KK. GG from Pianist. Well played, but Bisu is gonna be the second player to qualify for round of 24. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, guys, please buy me a coffee. That's gonna be in the video description. Bye bye.